So today I'm gonna going through the use of block. Like we'll be implementing for loop using a block. Let's just see how it works. So to use a for loop, we need something like which needed a for loop actually. So we can go with a simple table calculator. So what is table calculator? Table calculator simple app where you will be putting a number and it will generate a number table for that particular number. Let's just see how we can make this possible. By using a simple for loop in this blocks in MIT App Inventor. So the first thing, I today I have enabled this Zoom meeting to just show the run live on the screen, Like my emulator is not working, so I just joined in a Zoom meeting and I can actually show you these all kind of things directly to the Zoom meeting. Like whatever I run, I can show it on this Zoom meeting platform from my phone. So simple app, we just need a text box. So on that text box, we will be writing the number for which we need a table. So let's just customize it first. I don't want to show these all things. So we have a background color. Let's just pick a nice background color for this. Now make it full screen, not full screen, with just a full screen. Now I can just write a number, and then it will be numbers only. We have a property called numbers only, which will only allow the numbers to be input in this text field. Otherwise, user will be getting to write some letters also. So we don't want to do that because this will be taking only numbers and then we can generate particular thing, particular table for that particular number. So that's why I'm just marking this numbers only. Again, if it is read only means you won't be able to type there. If it is multi-line, like you want to type paragraph or long sentence, you can use it as multi-line. Okay, text alignment, just make it center and text color. Okay, let's just make it somewhat blue or maybe dark magenta. Now let's make it somewhat 50 or 30. Okay, 30 is fine. Whenever I write some number here, suppose 5, that number will be visible there. But no, I'm not going to write directly from the same ID app, but we'll be taking an input from the user. Now we have this text box. I can get a button now. So whenever I click on this button, it will generate the table for that particular number. Like suppose if I type 5 here, it will generate, if I click on this button, it will generate all those table numbers like 5 and the 5, 5 to the 10, 5 to the 15, like that. There will be just listing 5, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like that. So when we click on this button, so let's just customize this button also. Like name this button as show table. This button will be showing the table actually. Okay, now okay, make this button as fill center of the screen. That will look good. Even this one also, you don't have to make it fill parent. Yeah, that's great now. If you want to put some backdrop for this picture, like background screen, background image, or background color, you can put like that. Also, let me just do some light red or maybe pink. Yeah, that's great. The other thing is, we have a show button. Put this button background also. Yeah. Now we need a thing component which can actually show that numbers on the screen, because we can't directly write anything on the screen. So we need this label. This label is used to show anything, any text on the screen. See, so we'll be writing text as a number, a table of a number, numbers table that will be populating here. So initially should not contain any text. Just make it empty, nothing. But before that, I'll just make this some, like do some changes, like making it bold, increasing the font size a bit. Yeah. Now I can erase the thing. I don't need this first. Now, what I can do, if I click on this show table button, rename show table button. If I click on the show table button, it must fill the numbers on this label 1 with that particular numbers which is entered in this text box. Not the numbers, but the table for that particular number. If it is 5, then 5 on the 5, 10, 15 like that. If it is 2, then 2, 4, 6, 8 like that. So let's just give the logic for this app now. Go to block section. And now, whenever I click on this show table button, it has to do something. Okay, now what's the thing we can do actually? We can generate a numbers table, whatever we enter on that text box. But it is not like static thing. It will be changing every time because user can write 2, user can write 100, user can write 5, user can write any number on the text box to get the table for that particular number. So we need to make it dynamic. Each time it must based on the number, it must generate it automatically. It should not be hard coded. So the thing is now, what I'm going to do, I'll be using one control section block that is for each number block. This is a number block that is actually used to uh, loop through a loop particular statement. Whatever you do inside this block, whatever you put inside this do section, it will loop it. So in C, C++, Java, or Python, we got something like looping statements for each number. This again, this is something like exactly same as the looping things for I in range. So here we don't have I, we have this number variable. Even you could make this I also. For I, for each I from 1 to 5. So the number value will be, this I value will be from 1 to 5. It is just a variable. You can write anything here. Let's just make it number also, or you can write I also. It's up to you. For each I from 1 to 5, each by 1. What is this by actually? By means how much it will add in each iteration. Like we write I plus plus, I plus 2, like that. This is I plus plus right now. If we make it this, then it will be I plus 2 every time. It will be like 1, 3, 5 like that. If it is 1, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like that. The limit is starting from 1 to 5. Let's just put this inside the button. And now we will be doing, we need to start a for loop from 1 to 10, because every time whenever you count a table of any number, we go maximum till 10. 2 10s, 2 10s, 25 10s, 50 like that. So let's just make it hard coded as 10. It will start always from 1 and reach to 10. Okay. Now the thing is, we need something like to multiply that numbers. Suppose if it is 2, if I write 2 on the text box, I must get 2 1s are 2, 4, 6, 8. That means we are multiplying that 2 with 1, we are multiplying that 2 with 2, then again we are multiplying that 2 with 3, like 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 3, 2 2s are 4, 2 2s are 2 3s are 6, like that. So we need to store all those numbers. Like first we multiply 2 with 1, so we'll be getting 2. So that number 2 again, if you multiply that same 2 with 2, that will be 2 to 4. We need to store that 4 also, and previous 2 also. Again, if you multiply that 2 with 3, 2 3s are 6. Now we need to store 2, 4 and 6 together. So we can create a variable for that actually. So let's just make a global variable and name it as table. So we can just name it anything and just put nothing on that. Initially it won't be containing anything. So let's just make it empty. Okay. It is like an empty string right now. That global variable is containing an empty string. You can just make it something like whatever you want, you can write. It's up to you. It's just a variable. This is also a variable I. Now what we'll be doing, each time whenever we get something, we'll store in this global table. Global table is a variable. We are setting this global table. Now what we need to do, we need to multiply the entered number that is there in this text box. So let's just catch this text box value into another variable. You can make that variable as like something local variable. So we can put this inside. So this local variable will be our number for calculation. Like you can say n. n in this example. So n is something that is this one, the text of the text box. So we will be writing 2 on this text box, we'll be writing 3 on this text box, we'll be writing 4 on this text box. That's up to the user. If I write 2, this n will be 2. If I write 3, n will be 4. N will be 3. Okay. Now we need to multiply this n, because for that n we need to generate the numbers, or you can generate a table. For this n, we need to multiply this n each time with 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What we can do, we can just go to math section and get a block of mathematical, like the multiplication block. Multiply this n with which number? With I, because I will be changing each time. I will be changing each time. N into I. That is 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 4, 2 into 5, like that. And we can put it like this. Now you can see if I detach this block, these both blocks are getting cross mark. That is error. It's giving an error. Why? Because n is a variable that is local, and this I is also a variable which is local. That means you cannot put this block outside this area, outside this for each block for I, and outside this for n for this initial localized block, initialized local block. So n is not accessible outside this red block, you can say, or the orange block, and I is not accessible outside this for each block. That's why it's giving you the cross mark sign. So we must attach these two. Okay. Now the thing is, each time for each I from 1 to 10, I will be 1 first time. It will go to here. It will just multiply this I and this 2. That is 1, 2 into 1. That is 2. And put in this table. But again, if you go back and I will be 2 next time, what it will do, it will, okay, I will be 2. Now it will come here. This I is 2 and this n is always 2. 2 to the 4. What will happen now? Instead of storing that previous 2 and this 2 to the 4, it will just override previous 2. But we don't want. We want to store that previous 2 also, that is 2 on the 2, and this current 2 also, that is 2 to the, sorry, current 4 also, that is 2 to the 4, which you got. So, but right now it is overriding the previous 2. So what we can do, we can go to text section and join the previous one with the current one. So join this, whatever we have inside the global table, that is the previous 2, join this with the current calculation, that is 4. So this 2, 2 ones are 2, and 2 2 is a 4 will be joined together and put inside this table, global table variable. Again, I will be 3. So again, it will multiply with 2 into 3, 6. And now we already have this 2 and 4 inside this. So 2, 4, and current one we are getting at 6. 2 to the 6. We'll join these two things together and put in this global table again. Again, it will be like 10 times, 1 to 10. 2 ones are 2, 2 to the 3, like 2 to the 4, like that. Now at the end, we'll be getting this for loop will run total 10 times, and at the end we'll be getting all the numbers, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 till 20 in this global variable, global table variable actually. Now what we need to do, we have a label here. We can set the label text. We can set the label text. Set the label text to what? Because we have already we already have all those numbers inside this global table. We can use the get block of it and put it over here. So once we open the app, initially it will be empty, and once we write any number on this text box, suppose 3 or 2 or 4, whatever, for this we for which we want the table, then once we click on this button, it will start generating that number table 2, 4, 6, and it will be so quick because it's for loop. And then at the end, once the control will come out of the for loop, it will come out of this also, and then put everything whatever it got in the global table variable inside this label text. Okay, let's just see how it works. So I already have my phone with me, and I can show the screen is all shared. Yeah, so I'm gonna open this now. I can scan it. So for that I need to go here, connect a companion. Now I scan it. Now you can see the output here. Let it come. Now what I can do here is I can write any number in this text box. Okay, so the thing is write a num. That half portion is not visible. Let's just do that first. Go to designer and make this text box bit wide. Okay, that's great now. Now I can write any number in this text box. You can see only number keyboard we are getting. That is because of we are writing numbers only. Like we have chosen the property for this text box as numbers only. Let's just write a number, suppose, and click on show table. Oh, nice, we're getting something 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But the thing is, we are not getting it properly. Let's just do one thing. Go and fix that. Like there's no space, there's no punctuation, or like space in between that. So let's just do one thing. Each time whenever we add any number, each time when we add a number, just join one more time, one more string, one more string at the bottom of this, and add a text block. We can write just a comma. Each time whenever we get a number, it will just add with the comma on that. Now we can write another type 2 and click OK. Let me just refresh the companion. Now we can write number 2 again and show table. This time we're getting 2, 4, 6 with commas. Okay, one more thing. If you don't want to put comma, you can write some other characters also, like dash, maybe space, or whatever. Right now, I'm gonna do one thing. That is, instead of putting comma, I can write backslash n. So, in programming in C, C++, Java, Python, whatever programming language you choose, you can use this backslash n for a new line, especially in Java. Let's just refresh the companion again and go back to Zoom to check what's the output. Again, I write suppose 4. Show table. Okay, now we're getting things vertically. Why? Because each time whenever we add a number, multiply number, it writes up in a new line. So 4, 1 is a 4, 4 2 is a 8, 4 3 is a 12, and so on. Now one more thing, if I write another number, suppose just erase this 4 and let's just say write 80. Oh, it's okay. Let's just write and click on show table. Okay, there's a problem. It is just adding the previous it just not it just override it just not overriding the previous result, but we must actually override the previous result. So what we can do here, we can go back here and just clear the table variable whenever we click on this show button. So just make it empty. Yeah, that's fine. Now back and let's see whether it works or not. Let me write 8 show table. Okay, it's working now. Okay, let me write just change the number, that is 12. Okay, now great, it's working now. Now it's showing the table of 12. Again, if I change, maybe 60. Let's just see how this 60 table works. Show table. Okay, 61 the 60, 62 the 120. Yeah, it's working fine. So now there's no issues. There are no issue in this app. But one thing you can see, each time you have to clear the number and write a new number. So what we can do, whenever I click on show table button, it will automatically clear this too, whatever we have written on the text box. Let's just do that also. So set text box text, set text box text to empty. Whenever we click on this button, each time, okay, no, not at starting, but when we, okay, it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, over here. When we set the table, then we have to make it empty. That's great. Okay, let's just see how it works. Refresh companion. Go to Zoom. Now, let me just write 12. Once I click on show table button, it will just create a table of that particular number and it will clear the text box also. Yeah, great, it's working fine. I don't have to just erase the thing and write it. Again, 36. Yeah, we got a table of 36 and the number is gone. You can customize it more, like putting some extra text, like it will show 2 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, like that also. So for that we need something like add this kind of thing. Again, each time it must write 2 into 1 equal to that number 2, then 2 equal 2 into um, 2 equal to 4. Like that also, that's also possible. We can do it. Okay, let's just do some customization so that we can get the proper input actually. Sorry, proper output. So right now we are just getting 2, 4, 6, the table, the answer part only. So how we can make it like something to show like 2 into 1 equal to 2. We are just getting 2 right now. This portion. We are not getting this portion at all. Right. So for that we need to customize it a bit, and that's easy. Nothing complex. You can get this instead of directly writing this answer, because this is the multiplication portion, n into I, that is 2 into 1, 2 into 2, 2 into 3. Instead of directly getting the answer or putting the answer on the screen, we can just customize it like this. Get some join blocks, 34 join blocks. Okay, so first thing is we need to show the number, that is 2. That 2 is there in our n variable, which is coming from this text box 2. Now we need to show the multiplication symbol. So for that I can just make a duplicate of this and write an x for multiplication symbol, small x. 2 into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 into 1, 2 into 2. That number is dynamic. So we can show this by I, because I is changing each time. That's for loop variable. 2 into I, that is 2 into 1 equal to. Now we need one more equal to sign. So for that we can just make a duplicate of this, put and write equal to. Yeah. Okay. We need this one more join to join this answer also. So join one more string, and yeah, there we go. So now what will happen? This n is 2, that is coming from this text box variable, text box, into I. I is just the local for loop variable, that is changing each time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10, and equal to is just a constant, or x is also a constant, and is just for marking purpose. Let's just see how it works now. Just refresh the companion, and yeah, there we go. Now let me write some number again. So this time I'll be writing suppose 2. Let's see how it works. Show table. Oh wow, it's working great. 2 into 1, 2. 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 3, 6. And 10, 20. 2 into 10, 20. Even you can give some spaces as well. Like if it's looking uh, congested, you can just give spaces as well. Let's see how it works, how it looks. Refresh the companion and just go back to Zoom again to check the phone output. Let me write 5. Show table. Yeah, that's perfect now. Okay. If you're looking like font size is too low, you can just always go to this design section, change the font size of this label, which is here. Okay, make it 30. Maybe font italic if you want. I don't want. Many other changes. I don't think. Okay, let me just put some color. Maybe red or cyan. Okay. Refresh the companion, and yeah, we are good to go. Just write some other number, like suppose 5. Show table. Okay, nicely we are getting 5 into 1, 5. 5 into 2, 10. 5 into 3, 15. So this is how we work with for loop, or how we implement a for loop in MIT App Inventor. Not a big deal. So now whatever number I type, it will give us the table for that particular number. It doesn't matter how much big that number is. Maybe 96. Okay. Or maybe 105. Table of 105. Yeah, it is giving. No issue. It's working fine. Okay. So we have other option, like we use in general programming, like for loop, or you can say the nested for loop inside for loop. Yeah, that's also possible. We have some condition block also, that is inside this control section, if then block. And if you're storing some list items, we have for list for loop for that particular list item also, dedicated for loop, we can say, for list items. We have some list also, like we can create a list and make an item, make a list of items and store in a particular variable, list variable. So this is how we use a for loop in MIT App Inventor. The difference between this global variable and this local variable is just like simple one. If you are outside the function, you won't be able to use local variable, and global variable you can use anywhere. So that's how it works. So if I try to put this set block over here outside the function, just give an error because function is start from here. That range for this local variable is start inside this. Like it must be inside this somewhere. If I just remove this and put it inside, it will work. Okay, I can't put it there because some reason. Okay, we are already setting some variables, so we can't put it. Fine. So this much is uh, for this for loop for each loop in MID app inventor. Bye bye.